Hey everyone, it's Jeff, coach of the Pittsburgh Chaos here. I thought I'd show you my backyard course. So, show you what we're working with here. Here's my setup. I got a little tiny patch of woods. And of course this can fit in all kinds of shapes and sizes, but this is my setup here. We start with one at the edge of the patio there and throw over this fire pit to the landing here. So last year I marked this course out with some string, and it had the fall, winter, and spring to get very overgrown. So I'm going to show you me cleaning it up and getting it ready for play this year. So yeah, this is one. You can see the string line, a little overgrown. And then we move on to two. Two is here with the stones marking the base right there and there. And you can't tell at all where the boundaries are for the two. It's so overgrown. We're going to clean all this up with just a rake. But quick, we're going to run through and just show you the outline of the course. Little sand pit there, barely noticeable. Come down into the landing here. 3 starts over here at this mulch pile. And again, you can't tell really at all where the boundaries are, but it goes this way, spreads out, kind of goes up there. You can see the string on the tree there. There's a sand pit right beneath it. And then it widens out to these trees, comes over down through these ferns to this landing. This landing has a buried sand pit. Again, it's marked by these 2 stones and the string line. All right, here's X. X is the only thing that really doesn't need maintenance. It got to clear the sticks up and kind of mix the sand to make it nice and fluffy, but X looks pretty good. Three starts up here. Goes over this log. There's a big sand trap, the biggest one on the course. And then to this little landing. I have a dead tree, looks like I need to clean out. And then 5 starts here, comes down this hill, which I may change this year, but for now I'm just going to clean it. Goes to this clearing right here, which isn't cleared. And then it stops. There's a gap. So you can see the string line here. This is all out of bounds. And up there, where that tree is leaning against those trees, that is the landing. So you have to toss up to here, which again, I may change this too, because some people have a hard time making that throw. It's a little bit of a distance. But for now, I'm gonna clean it up. And that's it. Let's get started cleaning. All right, the first round of cleanup is complete. So this is what the landing of 1 looks like. here's the start of 2. 2 is definitely the most overgrown, and I'm gonna have to go over this again, let some of these weeds grow up, and then hopefully they pull out a little bit easier. I pull the weeds out because they create little bumps in the dirt whenever there's no other grass around them. And there's nothing worse than when during a game you make a perfect shot exactly where you wanted it to hit, and you get an errant bounce from a little bump that you didn't see. So we try to eliminate those the best we can. It's not going to be perfect. This isn't a professional course. It's just a backyard course. I'll show some more professional courses later on, and some quicker, easier courses, grass courses too. Yeah, this is maybe more or less than what you may want to build yourself, but it's just to show you what's possible. You know, all this took me about an hour and a half of time. I did it all myself. There's probably another hour worth of cleanup here that needed. But it's good enough to play on now. Well, maybe we won't have a game for another week or two. And I'll make sure I'll do another light raking before we actually play a game. But for the most part, she's good to go. The light raking before the game is just so the dirt isn't super hard and the stones don't bounce too much. Makes it a little softer to the touch and more predictable to play. Need to fluff these sand traps still. And whenever I was raking, you could see I was trying to find the boundary. Some spots it was a little bit too overgrown to where I couldn't see, so I had to pull it up to figure out where I was raking, and then I would catch the string with my rake, or I'd pull out accidentally some of these staples. So I'll just go back through and fix some of that stuff. But yeah, you can actually see where the course is now. This is 3's landing. X didn't really need anything. Just rake the top off and then I'll fluff the sand. 4 starts up here, comes this way, and this is forward landing. And then 5 was supposed to start down here, go this way, and then, like I said earlier, have this gap up to 5 landing up there. I'm gonna reconfigure it this way, or this year. I'm gonna reconfigure it because, one, some people had hard time making that throw on that gap, and then 2, this is a nice big playable area, really nice view when you're playing, and it kind of sucks to have to play downhill into it. So what I think I'm gonna do this year, and I'm not gonna actually build it in this video, but I'll show you what I'm thinking, is maybe start 4 here. So you play up into that nice visual spot, and I'll clean up some of these weeds that are obstructing that view, but it's a decent throw to X, not too close, not terribly far. You play uphill into this nice spot, and then play uphill to where the base used to be, and I'm going to extend it into all this and put a new landing right here. And then for 5, that would leave this stretch, currently unplayed. So for 5, I think I'm going to start here. So It's a pretty hard shot to X. Not impossible, pretty hard. That section of the course is going to have to be cut off. And then 5, there'd be a little gap over these weeds to start 5's stretch, with 5's landing being over there. This is a possible shot. It's not too far from 5's base to get to 5 landing. Maybe I'll put another obstacle just to make it a little harder. And the reason we have to get rid of this part is you can't throw backwards. You can't throw farther away from the landing. So we have to go about there. So 5 stretch would start here and go this way. So this would still be 5's landing here. Just instead of having to throw this big gap from there to get up here, you'd be playing this way. So 2 of the stretches are being played backwards from how they were originally designed. So that's the idea for this year. Like I said, I'm not going to build it in this video. I will build that and then have it ready to go for the first game. I hope this was helpful for you in understanding what it takes to build one of these courses. There's all shapes and sizes, different terrains. If you have grass in your backyard, you could just lay the string in the grass, or cut the boundaries with a weed whacker. It could be as big or small as you want it to be. This is just an example of my woods course at my house. As I go around and build pop-up courses, I will film those to show you how fast it can be. I'll show you the course at my parents' house. I'll show you the course at my in-laws' house, all around. So if you have any questions, just feel free to comment, reach out. I'm happy to help. So thanks. We'll see you next time.